Happy algebra students. We have been factoring equations and solving equations, quadratics. We are solving for the roots, the zeros, the solutions, the x-intercepts. But today in our factoring, here's our standard form, and we're going to factor when this a is greater than 1, but there's no GCF. What happens is you can't do the whole process you've been doing, the multiply to 5 and add to 11, because you've got this 2 that is affecting things. The way to get 2x squared is to go 2x times x. Then we need to do 5, which is 5 and 1. Or is it 1 and 5? It matters today because of this 2. So if you wanted to look at it like a backwards box, we know this much, and we know this is 2x squared, and this is 5. So what we need to do is figure out where to put the 1 and 5 in order to get an 11 as our middle term. So if I put, let's try this. If I, put the 1 here and the 5 here, 1 times x is 1x, 5 times 2x is 10x. Does that add to 11x? Yes. So that means I need 2x plus 1 and x plus 5. Just real quick, if I had switched them and put the 5 and the 1, we would have 5x and 2x, and that would not equal 11x. So this is a little more complicated because the order matters and the number in front affects things. So here I would need a 5x and an x, and then I would have to figure out, is this a 4, this a 1, this a 1, this a 4, or a 2 and 2? So somebody much smarter than I figured out a method, a pattern that works every time for these problems so that you don't have to play with it and do what I call guess and check, which is what I did in high school. But somebody made this method that works every time. You can still use the x, but the first thing you have to do is multiply a by c. So a by c. And then you find the factors of that. So a times c, 5 times 4 is 20. And then, so this time, instead of finding the factors of 4 that add to 12, I want the factors of 20 that add to 12. So it is going to be 10 and 2. And I pretend those are my factors. They're not, because I've changed the problem by multiplying the 5 times the 4. So I call them my fake factors. Now that I've found them, I multiplied that 5 by the 4. I've got to undo that. I've got to divide the 5 back out. So I'm going to divide both things by a by 5, because I started off multiplying by 5. Now I have to divide the 5 back out. This one divides nicely. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And here's a very important step that a lot of people get wrong because they miss this. This does not work if you don't do this step. You have to simplify. Now, we did 10 divided by 5 is 2, but this one does not simplify, does it? So once you've checked to make sure it simplifies, then you do what I call bottoms up. Some people call it divide and slide. I call it bottoms up, because now you take the bottom, the denominator, and you move it up. So the x plus 2 stays there. The 5 slides in front. This method will work every time. It's pretty cool that somebody figured that out. So let's do it. Tell you what, let's do it on number 4. Start off by doing a times c. Remember that c is a negative 5, so I get negative 30. I want to add to negative 7. So that would be a negative 10 and a positive 3. Those are what I call my fake factors. I put those here. Now I need to divide by the one I multiplied by, divide by a. Here, these two simplify. This can be divided by 2, simplifies to 5/3. This can be divided by 3, simplifies to 1/2. This is your very important step. You must simplify before you do bottoms up. Now that I have simplified, I'm going to do bottoms up. I'm going to have 3x minus 5, 2x plus 1. Let's see if we want to do another one. Let's do number 3 because this messes with a lot of people for some reason. 2 times negative 10 is negative 20, and then a lot of us forget that this is an imaginary 1. So what multiplies to negative 20 but adds to negative 1 is 4 and negative 5. Those are my fake factors. My next step is to divide by a. This one simplifies nicely, so I'm done. This one doesn't simplify, so I'm ready to do bottoms up. Now you can always check your answer and make sure that you did it right. X times 2x is 2x squared. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. 4x, negative 5x adds to negative 1x. So you can always check your work and see if you're right instead of wondering. Have a lovely day.